The world of professional boxing is no stranger to drama, rivalries, and personal stakes that elevate fights beyond mere sport. At the heart of one such brewing storm is the escalating tension between two undefeated lightweight champions, Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Shakur Stevenson. Their potential unification fight, rumored for 2025, promises to be a blockbuster, fueled not only by their contrasting styles in the ring but also by a deeply personal feud that has recently erupted. The catalyst: alleged disrespect from Stevenson toward Davis's longtime mentor and trainer, Calvin Ford, a figure who has been instrumental in shaping Davis into the three-division world champion he is today. This conflict, layered with emotional weight, mutual history, and raw ambition, has set the stage for what could be one of the most electrifying showdowns in modern boxing. Gervonta Davis, a Baltimore native, has long been a dominant force in the lightweight division, known for his devastating knockout power, slick skill set, and undeniable charisma. His record, pristine and adorned with highlight reel knockouts, has made him a fan favorite and a box office draw. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson, a three-division champion with an elite boxing IQ, is celebrated for his defensive wizardry, precise footwork, and ability to outmaneuver opponents. The two fighters represent opposite ends of the boxing spectrum. Davis, the aggressive, power-punching showman, and Stevenson, the calculated, risk-averse tactician. Their potential clash has been likened to a modern-day rivalry akin to Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, where two elite talents push each other to their limits. The roots of their conflict trace back to their shared history. Both fighters grew up in similar environments, navigating the challenges of street life and finding salvation in boxing gyms. Davis has openly acknowledged their connection, noting that he and Stevenson grew up together, with their families intertwined. "Me and your grandfather were cool," Davis has said, emphasizing the personal nature of their relationship. However, this familiarity has not bred camaraderie but rather a competitive tension that has simmered for years. Davis's recent outburst on social media, sparked by allegations that Stevenson disrespected Calvin Ford, has brought this tension to a boiling point. Calvin Ford is far more than just a trainer to Davis. Since meeting a 7-year-old Davis at the Upton Boxing Center in West Baltimore, Ford has been a mentor, father figure, and stabilizing force. Having served a 10-year prison sentence himself, Ford dedicated his life to mentoring youth, steering them away from the streets and into the gym. For Davis, Ford's guidance was transformative. He provided not only technical training but also life counsel, helping Davis navigate the pressures of fame, high-profile relationships, including with boxing legend Floyd Mayweather, and the temptations of street life. Ford's coaching style, rooted in a deep understanding of the sweet science, emphasizes precision, footwork, and defensive skills, complementing Davis's natural athleticism and power. Their bond is profound, with Davis recalling sleeping at Ford's house and even accompanying him to his job at a seafood restaurant to avoid trouble. "Calvin been with me since I was 7, Davis has said, his voice thick with emotion. "I didn't want him to get in trouble, and I wanted to make sure we was together." This deep connection made Stevenson's alleged trash talk about Ford particularly incendiary. According to reports, Stevenson disrespected Ford, prompting Davis to unleash a fiery rant on social media. In it, he defended Ford's honor, issuing threats and warnings that stunned fans and insiders alike. "I keep telling y'all, he say he's the king and this vicious right here," Davis declared, his words dripping with intensity. "I ain't never seen a king hold his kingdom down when you have a vicious crew come through. We coming through. Hear what I say. We vicious." The outburst was a rare glimpse into Davis's protective loyalty, underscoring how personal this feud has become. For Davis, an attack on Ford is an attack on family, and he made it clear he's ready to settle the score both in and out of the ring. Adding fuel to the fire is Davis's recent performance against Lamont Roach Jr. on March 1, 2025, at Brooklyn's Barclays Center. The highly anticipated bout ended in a controversial majority draw, marking the first blemish on Davis's otherwise flawless record. Fans and analysts noted that Davis lacked his trademark sharpness and power, appearing slower and less focused than usual. Many pointed to the absence of Calvin Ford in his corner as a contributing factor. Ford, who had briefly parted ways with Davis before the fight, was not present, and the estrangement seemed to disrupt Davis's rhythm. A particularly contentious moment came in the 9th round when Davis took a knee after a jab, a move that wasn't ruled a knockdown but sparked outrage and debate. The unresolved verdict left fans clamoring for a rematch, now scheduled for August 16, 2025, in Las Vegas. The Roach fight highlighted Ford's importance to Davis's success. Their temporary split, announced by Davis in an Instagram live session, was described as a mutual decision, but Ford's arrest in early January 2024 on charges of assault with a deadly weapon in Nevada added complexity to their relationship. Ford, who was detained by Baltimore police and awaited transfer to Nevada, faced serious allegations that shook Davis's camp. Despite the legal troubles, Davis expressed respect for Ford, stating, "I've always respected Calvin and what he's done for my career, but at the end of the day, I have to do what's best for me and my team." The separation was short-lived, however, as Ford returned to Davis's training camp ahead of the Roach rematch, a reunion that brought visible relief to Davis. "It's a full-circle moment," he said, praising the reconnection with his longtime mentor. In preparation for the rematch, Davis has also enlisted a new coach, Mustafa, known for his work on timing, precision, and accuracy. This addition signals a strategic shift, with Davis's training camp now focused on fundamentals and conditioning. Observers have noted a renewed discipline in Davis's workouts, with an emphasis on endurance and technical refinement. The goal is clear: to enter the ring sharper, fitter, and ready to reclaim his dominance. The rematch against Roach, who proved a tough test in their first encounter, is seen as a critical moment for Davis to silence doubters and reassert his place at the top of the lightweight division. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson has been vocal about his desire to face Davis in a unification fight. Stevenson, who recently became a free agent after parting ways with Top Rank, sees the matchup as the biggest fight in boxing. "I honestly believe that me and Tank will be the biggest fight in boxing one day," he said, likening it to an action-packed, high-stakes rivalry. Stevenson acknowledges Davis's explosive power and unpredictable style, calling him a real threat who demands respect. However, he remains confident in his ability to outbox Davis, relying on his slick movement and defensive prowess to neutralize Tank's aggression. Former world champion Tim Bradley agrees, boldly predicting that Stevenson will easily outbox and defeat Davis, citing his ring IQ and ability to avoid power shots as key advantages. The stylistic contrast between the two fighters is a major draw. Davis's raw power and knockout artistry make him a fan favorite, but Stevenson's technical mastery and ability to control the ring present a unique challenge. Bradley believes that Stevenson's defensive skills will frustrate Davis, forcing him to take risks that could leave him vulnerable. However, Davis's supporters argue that his aggression and ability to land devastating counters give him the edge. The debate has divided fans, with some accusing Davis of avoiding the fight. Stevenson, while stopping short of calling Davis scared, has suggested that Tank is hesitant to face him, stating, "He not jumping in the ring with me. That's a whole different type of atmosphere." The personal stakes only heighten the anticipation. Davis's fierce loyalty to Ford, coupled with Stevenson's alleged disrespect, has transformed this potential fight into a grudge match. Ford's influence on Davis cannot be overstated. Beyond his technical coaching, Ford has been a moral compass, guiding Davis through the pitfalls of fame and the dangers of his Baltimore roots. Davis credits Ford with keeping him focused, recalling how Ford admonished his peers for straddling the line between the streets and the gym. "You can't have one foot in and one foot out," Ford would say, a lesson that resonated deeply with Davis. Tragically, some of those peers fell victim to the streets, reinforcing Ford's message about the importance of commitment. Ford's own story mirrors the struggles of the fighters he mentors. A former street figure who turned his life around after prison, Ford became a beacon of hope in Baltimore, opening the Upton Boxing Gym and dedicating himself to saving young lives through boxing. His character inspired a role in the television series The Wire, a testament to his impact both in and out of the ring. For Davis, Ford's guidance was a lifeline, helping him rise from a troubled childhood to become a five-time world champion. Their bond, forged through years of shared struggles and triumphs, makes Stevenson's alleged comments a personal affront that Davis is unlikely to forgive. As the boxing world awaits the potential Davis-Stevenson showdown, the Roach rematch looms large. Roach, who arguably outboxed Davis for much of their first fight, proved that Tank is not invincible. His forward pressure, sharp jab, and disciplined approach exposed vulnerabilities that Stevenson will undoubtedly study. For Davis, the rematch is an opportunity to prove that the draw was an anomaly, a result of internal disruptions rather than a decline in skill. With Ford back in his corner and a new coach adding fresh perspective, Davis appears poised to deliver a statement performance. The pay-per-view numbers for the first Roach fight, reported at 149,000 buys by Rick Glazer, reflect the public's fascination with Davis, even in a controversial outing. While some question Glazer's reporting, the figures underscore Tank's star power. A unification fight with Stevenson, however, could shatter those numbers, given the personal stakes and the clash of styles. Stevenson's recent performances, while dominant, have drawn criticism for lacking excitement, putting pressure on him to deliver a standout showing in his next fight. As a free agent, he has the freedom to pursue high-profile matchups, and a fight with Davis would cement his legacy. The question remains, did Stevenson go too far in his alleged comments about Ford, or is Davis's reaction justified? For Davis, the answer is clear. Ford is family, and any slight against him is a call to war. Stevenson, for his part, remains focused on proving himself in the ring, confident that his skills will speak louder than any trash talk. If and when these two meet, the fight will be about more than titles or records. It will be a collision of pride, loyalty, and ambition, with the boxing world watching to see who emerges as the true king of the lightweight division.